I'd like to go ahead and get this information session started, and it will be recorded, but it's only going to record whoever is speaking. So since you're all muted, you won't be included in the recording. My name is Jordan Williams, and I'm the Senior Communications Specialist for OLLI at UNT. And I'm going to be leading today's session on behalf of our director, Dr. Stephanie Ranke. She was planning to be here, but she wanted me to let you all know that through some unavoidable circumstances, unfortunately, her husband actually tested positive for the coronavirus earlier this week. And so she's with him getting some medical treatment today. But I'll go ahead and lead the session in her stead. Alongside me, I've got Lillian Whitty, who is our office support associate, who's also on the call, and our budget officer, Lakshmi Aramagam, is also part of our team. They're both on the call with me. And this probably won't be as smooth as Stephanie's able to do it because she's done it so many times, but I'm going to do my best to cover everything, hopefully in a way that's clear. So for those of you who may be new to OLLI or may just have heard of us recently and aren't exactly sure what all we do here, OLLI at UNT stands for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at the University of North Texas. And the Osher in that name refers to the fact that we are part of a network of over 120 OLLI programs around the country that are supported by the Bernard Osher Foundation. Bernard Osher is a philanthropist that supports organizations like ours through his foundation. And we are housed at the University of North Texas. So all of the staff members that I just introduced to you, we are employees of UNT. We operate out of UNT. But we do receive some financial support and other logistical support from the Osher Foundation and the other OLLIs that are there. What we offer are courses, educational events, and some travel opportunities designed by and for adults, and as we always say, adults age 50 and better. We also do a focus on social engagement, so we have special interest groups, things of those kinds. And normally we do offer all of our courses and events in person. For those of you who are new to us, we've obviously had to go virtual due to the pandemic. And so as we're going to talk about, our spring semester is going to include all virtual activities. It's all going to be handled on Zoom. But we look forward to the day when we'll be able to resume in-person activities, both at our location at the University of North Texas in Denton, as well as some of our other classroom locations located around Denton, in Flower Mound and Frisco at the senior centers there. Although I'm sure we'll still, with this experience that we've now all gained, we'll probably continue to have some sort of virtual component going into the future. Exactly what that is, we don't know yet, but we do look forward to being in person someday. But today we're going to be talking about our spring semester, which is going to be all virtual. So our courses are the main part of what we offer. They are 90 minutes in length for each session. A course can be anywhere from 1 to 4 sessions long. As we'll talk about in the catalog here, you'll notice each course in the catalog has dates and times associated with it. If it has multiple dates associated with a course, that means that it continues from one session to the next. So if you see 3 dates, that means that there are 3 sessions beginning with the first and continuing on through the second and third. We offer a wide variety of topics, and our courses, as I mentioned, are designed by and for our members who are age 50 plus, and they are solicited sometimes from suggestions from members. We also receive proposals from faculty, and so we have active university faculty, retired university faculty, and subject matter experts, and they all put together lessons designed for lifelong learners who are not going to be taking grades or tests, but are really just interested in learning more about a subject and engaging their minds and staying up to date on some of the latest research being done by university faculty. We have 3 semesters of courses. Obviously, we're coming up on our spring semester, which is February through April. And what we're doing right now while we're virtual is offering single semester memberships. So as we'll talk about later, there is a spring semester membership option that we are currently offering. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into our spring catalog. Some of you may have been able to already download it from our website, but you can do that at olli.unt.edu/catalog. As I mentioned, the catalog is all digital. We're not printing anything at this time to save on the expense and to make it easier to distribute since we're not doing in-person events. But as a digital document, you should be able to click around in the document. So we've included links in the table of contents. So when you click on a category in the contents, it should jump right to that section. And then at the bottom of each page, you should see a home icon or button that you can click that will take you back to the contents. So hopefully that'll make it easy to navigate around the document. It's about a little over 30 pages long. If you prefer to print it out and you're able to do that, that's obviously an option as well. But we tried to make it as easy as possible to navigate it digitally. And right now we're going to talk about what's included in the catalog. But first, I should mention that we're going to be doing all of our courses and special interest groups and events live on Zoom. So they are going to be live. These are not pre-recorded lectures or anything like that, but they are virtual, offered through Zoom. And so all of you obviously have successfully navigated Zoom to join us for this session. But since we're recording it and some people might be watching it after the fact, if you're new to Zoom or you're a little bit uncomfortable with using it, we have compiled some tutorials and guides on our website. As you can see on this slide, olli.unt.edu/Zoom. We've included some links directly to the Zoom homepage that has some of their official tips and tutorial videos. So hopefully that'll be a useful resource for you to get started using Zoom, which is we find to be pretty user-friendly. So as for the courses that we're offering, there are far too many, as I mentioned, over 50 in the spring catalog, but here's a sample of some of the things that we're offering. The Rise and Fall of Spain in Texas is being offered by a very popular faculty member, Andrew Torgett from the UNT's History Department. Also popular, Dr. Laura Evans from the College of Visual Arts and Design, who specializes in art theft, is doing a new course called Taken, The Theft of Gainsborough's The Duchess of Devonshire, or Devonshire, is probably how you pronounce that. We also have Dr. Carrie Goldman, I believe, who was part of the team that led our Decriminalizing Blackness series last fall. She is going to be offering Performing Jewish Identity, A History of Jews on the American Stage. And as you can see, there are several other titles here. Opera 101, I know, is being offered by Steve Dubrow, who's offered that before. His have been very popular. And I believe Healthful Ways to Cope with COVID is being offered by Craig Newman. Is that right, Lily? Yes, and he's another popular professor. So this is just a sample of some of the titles of what we're offering. And as you can see on the bottom of the slide there, from pages 18 through 31 in the catalog, you're going to see all of our courses that we're offering organized by category. So for example, arts and humanities are under a category, history is under a category, and so forth. And the descriptions for each course are included there, the dates, the times that they'll meet through Zoom, and a brief biography of the faculty member who's teaching that class are all included on these pages of the catalog, 18 through 31. And there's a lot of interesting things being offered, and including some new people. We've got some faculty, because we're virtual, who are teaching from outside of the state. So it really is a unique time to be able to learn from some faculty who normally aren't able to be a part of our program. We're also doing virtual special interest groups, which we started in the fall. And so a few of the groups on this page are continuing from the fall. We've also got a couple of new ones. The OLLI social hours, we're continuing from the fall. We're going to have more of them in the spring than we did in the fall. These are going to be informal, casual opportunities for members to join, and one of the staff members, myself or Lily, somebody will be there to kind of facilitate, but it's just for casual conversation. I know we're all probably beyond stir crazy by now, being cooped up, and so this is just one opportunity to be able to talk to other members, maybe discuss some of the things you learned about in a recent class, or just whatever's on your mind. We've had a successful yoga group that became a virtual yoga group led by Sheila in the fall. That's going to continue on into the spring as well. New for the spring, there's going to be a 3-session group led by Dr. Jean Greenlaw, who not only has taught several classes for our program throughout the years, but she's also the book review columnist for the Denton Record Chronicle. And so in the spring, she's going to be meeting once a month to discuss the theme of her article in the newspaper that month. And if you want to know a little bit more about her, she was actually a guest on our podcast not too long ago. So you can go to our website and listen to our Susan Supak's interview with her. But she does a themed book review column for the Denton Record Chronicle. Off the top of my head, I believe February is going to be Black History Month. I believe March is going to be Women's History Month. And then I believe April is going to be revolving around Earth Day. We've got a woodworking SIG that's continuing from the fall, led by a member, Jeff. And so anybody who is interested in woodworking, regardless of what level you're at, this is a place to discuss where you can get materials and things like that. Or if you're wanting to get into it and you're brand new to the idea of woodworking, Jeff has some experience, so he would welcome you in the group, no matter what level you are. The Great Books Club is one of our longest standing special interest groups that is continuing into the spring. And normally that's a limited size. It still is limited, but it's been expanded while it's virtual because it's a little bit easier to allow for more people in a virtual space than when they meet in person. So there are a few spots open in the Great Books Club. And if you join that club, they discuss great works of literature. It is based some on feedback, so you can join, and then we'll put you in touch with Donna, and you'll be able to have your own input onto what books you might like to discuss. And I think they already have some ideas of books they'd like to discuss. Also new for the spring is a recipe special interest group being led by a member, Kim Kinnear. It's called Recipes, Show, Share, and Tell. So it's kind of self-explanatory, but if you have recipes that you're interested in sharing or looking to discuss ways to bring new life into recipes that you have been using for a long time, or learning new recipes from others, we encourage you to think about joining this SIG, which I believe is going to also meet monthly. And as you can see at the top of the slide, these are all listed on pages 10 through 11 of the catalog. So we decided to try to reintroduce our events into our program, which initially when we went virtual, it was somewhat difficult to plan that out, but I should mention specifically, our director has really reached out to a few groups and individuals to offer some special events that will be offered virtually. And a couple of these are unique in that they are take-home events. So the first take-home event is from Painting with a Twist, which some of you may be familiar with. It's a guided painting session. And on the screen there, you'll see the simple bluebonnet design that is what we'll be painting this spring. And so the way this is going to work, there's a deadline a week in advance that you'll need to register and pay OLLI $37 per member for your painting supplies. That's going to include your easel, the paints, the brushes. I believe the only thing you'll need to provide yourself is pencil or chalk and something to cover the space that you're painting. But you pay that money to us, and then we will collect the supplies from Painting with a Twist, and then they'll be available for you to pick up from our office, which is located on Scripture Street in Denton, and the address is in the catalog, the 1716 Scripture Street. But you'll pick up the supplies and bring them home, and the event itself will be on Tuesday, February 23rd, starting at 5:30, and there'll be someone from Painting with a Twist walking you through the design virtually. So you'll have your painting supplies at home, and you'll be able to see the artist's own canvas as they walk you through how to create this bluebonnet design. And it is Painting with a Twist. I believe the twist refers to bring your own beer or wine. So obviously you'll be at home, and you're encouraged to participate if you would like to. But full details about this event are included on page 12 of the catalog. Our next take-home event is called Cheese Styles 101, and it's with 10 to 1 Artisanal Cheese Shop, local cheese shop here in Denton. And so the cost of this event is going to be $20 per member. And this one, again, the fee will be paid to OLLI. We will collect those fees, and then we'll make sure that the 10 to 1 staff has the list of participants. There's a deadline for registration for this one as well, which is a week in advance. Once we send the list of participants to 10 to 1, they will prepare cheese trays that will also include some French bread from Ravelin Bakery. And you'll be able to pick up the cheese trays and French bread on the day of the event, which is Tuesday, March 16th from 10 to 1 Artisanal Cheese Shop. And their address is listed in the catalog. They're local to Denton. So you'll go there to pick up your cheese tray prior to the event on that day. And then at 6 o'clock on March 16th, again, it will be on Zoom. We'll have Justin Bernard and Benjamin Matt, who you can see pictured there, who are, one is the owner and another works at the shop, or at the cheese shop. And they will be walking you through pairings for the cheeses and telling you about how they make all these cheeses and what goes into that, and sharing some information about their craft. So on page 12 of the catalog, you'll see this event listed. And this cheese event and the painting with the twist, those are two events that carry an extra cost. Everything else in the catalog is inclusive in the membership fee. So there are only these two take-home events where you'll pay an additional fee for the supplies that, once again, you'll pick up. In the case of the cheese event, you'll pick it up from 10 to 1. In the case of painting with a twist, you'll actually pick up your supplies from the OLLI office in advance, but those fees go toward those supplies. We were also fortunate to get Chef Jody Duryea from the UNT College of Merchandising, Hospitality, and Tourism. She's done several very popular cooking demonstrations for us before, including in person, where I believe people were able to make French fruit tarts for that session. She did a virtual cooking demonstration for saffron shrimp risotto in the fall, which was also well received. And so she's doing even more for us in the spring. She's doing a series of 6 cooking demonstrations with a theme of Taste of the Mediterranean. And so you can read more about that on page 13, about the types of dishes that she'll be introducing you to. And it basically takes a kind of a tour around the Mediterranean with different dishes representing different regions of that area. So that's going to be very exciting. And this one is going to be inclusive. She will provide recipes in advance. So if you do want to purchase the ingredients and try out the recipes yourself, you'll have the recipe to be able to do that. Okay, and another special event that we're offering in the spring is a Filmmaker Spotlight for Peter Sanders, who you can see there. I believe he's based in New York, but we're going to be screening 2 of his documentary films, and then each of those screenings will be followed by a Q&A session with Peter. And he's also going to just talk a little bit about the story behind the documentary, the making of it. And they're very interesting stories. The Disappeared is going to take place on Tuesday, April 6th. And that's a film that revolves around a child who lost his parents to the violence of the dirty wars in Argentina. And the film follows his efforts to, I believe, identify the killers and sort of, complete the story of his life, which up to that point, there was some, uncertainty about what exactly had happened to his family. So that's going to be a powerful documentary. Altina is another documentary about a fashion icon. I'm pulling this up here so I don't get the details wrong. She was a fashion icon named Altina. So I'm going to move this around on my screen. Shinazi, I believe is how that's pronounced. She was famous for her design of Harlequin eyeglasses. So that's a film that sort of chronicles her life and her activism. And again, that screening is going to take place first, followed by a talk by Peter Sanders and an opportunity to ask him questions. So on page 14 of the catalog, you'll see these events. Once again, The Disappeared is going to take place on Tuesday, April 6th, and Altina will take place later that week on Friday, April 9th. We've got a couple of author events that we're going to be offering in the spring. And so these are going to feature 2 authors who, again, are going to be joining us on Zoom to discuss their books. The first will be Irv Lubliner, who's going to be talking about his book, Only Hope, which is, I believe, a published version of his mother's memoirs about surviving the Holocaust. So he's going to be discussing that book for us on Monday, February 1st, as you can see there. We're also going to be having Mamta Chaudhry, who's the author of a novel called Haunting Paris. I believe it's her debut novel. And she's going to be talking to us about how she came to write that novel, some of the research she did to be able to write it. And so that's going to be on Tuesday, February 16th. And as you can see, both of these events are listed on page 15 of the catalog. And we're bringing back Great Decisions with Dr. Jim Goodnow, who has led these sessions for us before. Great Decisions is a national program of discussion groups that's organized by the Foreign Policy Association. And what they do is they arrange topics, as you can see on your screen, to be discussed in small groups around the country. They prepare materials, informational materials about each topic. One is included in a briefing book that Dr. Goodnow recommends people purchase if they're going to participate in this class. That's offered, you can purchase that directly from the Foreign Policy Association, provide some helpful information about each of the topics that will be discussed. There's also an informational video that's associated with each of these topics. So in each of the 8 sessions of this series of discussions, it's going to begin with a screening of the short video, providing some information about the various topics. And then following that, there'll be a discussion moderated by Dr. Goodnow that, again, you sign up, you'll be able to participate. Dr. Goodnow has expertise in some of the topics, but not others. And so it will be an environment where you can give some back and forth and share your thoughts. You can see some of the topics there, but you can also read more about this series on page 16 of the catalog. And that one should be really interesting. All right, so one thing that we have always enjoyed doing, or for several years have enjoyed doing, is taking members to UNT's planetarium, which is called the Sky Theater. And as you can imagine, the Sky Theater is not able to have people in person in their theater and hasn't for a while. And so they have started to offer virtual events. And we are going to be offering one of those on Friday, April 2nd. And the event is going to include a screening of the short planetarium film, Birth of Planet Earth, which is kind of self-explanatory, but it deals with the creation of our planet. And following that screening, there's going to be staff members from the Sky Theater taking members on a virtual tour of the evening sky. So this is the part at the planetarium where they show you, what time to look at what part of the sky to see different constellations and planets and whatnot. And then there'll also be a Q&A session for any questions you have about the night sky for the staff of the Sky Theater. So that's going to be on Friday, April 2nd, and you can find more information about that event on page 16 of the catalog. All right, another thing we're continuing from the fall is the UT Southwestern Medical Center Healthcare Series. And this is a series of talks from medical professionals, faculty members, doctors, surgeons with UT Southwestern Medical Center. And you can see there's a range of topics that they'll be talking about in the spring: hip and knee arthritis, aging gracefully, hand surgery and common causes of hand pain, and a couple of talks related to cancer, the genetic aspect of cancer, and breast cancer prevention. And so on pages 17 through 18, you can see the biographies of each of these medical professionals. They're all really very accomplished, and we're fortunate to have them speaking for us in a series of lectures this spring. We are also adding more great courses to our catalog. And so the way this works, for those who aren't familiar with the great courses, these are multi-part video courses that are offered through this company. And what we've done is purchased a selection of titles, and members can OLLI at UNT members can access these courses through our OLLI at UNT Great Courses account. So if you sign up and let us know that you want to take some of these video courses, what we'll do is, if you register online, you'll receive the login information for the account in your confirmation email. If you reach out to us directly and let us know that you'd like to watch one of the courses, we will make sure that you get that login information. You log into the OLLI account, and whenever you want to watch the video. And one of the things that means is we want to encourage you to make sure you save your place or remember where you leave off, because if somebody else is watching the course, they might be in a different part. So whenever you stop watching, be sure to log out, but also make a note of where you want to pick up when you come back. But the three new titles we're adding this spring are America's Founding Fathers, Great American Bestsellers, the books that shaped America, and The Great Trials of World History and the Lessons They Teach Us. And as you can see, there are also several other titles still available that we purchased in previous semesters. So on pages 32 through 34 of the catalog, you can see the descriptions of all of these courses laid out there for you. All right, I know that was a lot of information, and like I said, there will be time for questions at the end. But briefly, I just will mention, again, for those of you who might be new to the program, we do encourage faculty to provide handouts, and actually that's more important than ever these days because our screens are small, and so it's not always easy to get all the information that they might want to share on a screen. So handouts are a great way to do that. We don't have anything posted for the spring yet, but as handouts come into us, we will post them to the website you see on your screen there, olli.unt.edu/handouts. For those of you who are members in the fall, if there's some handouts that you haven't gotten yet, we encourage you to go to that website now while the fall ones are still available and grab those handouts that the faculty have provided for you. Also, evaluations are very important to us. And again, especially as we've gone virtual and have had to change so many things in such a short amount of time with how our program works, we encourage you to fill out evaluations for the courses that you attend. What we do is we send an email reminder at the end of each course to the roster of people who enrolled that just gives you a brief reminder and has the link there for you. But at any time after you finished a class, you can always go to olli.unt.edu/evaluations and fill out, it's a short evaluation form similar to what you filled out before for other organizations, you know, rating certain aspects of the course on a number scale. And then it gives you opportunities to write open-ended responses or comments, either for the faculty member or for staff. So again, it's really helpful to us to be able to have some feedback about what we can improve and also what you liked and what you might want to see more of in the future. If you really enjoyed a faculty member's presentation, that's a good place to let us know and let them know that you'd like to see something more about that in the future or see them go more in depth on one of the aspects that they mentioned there. Okay, so I'm going to skip a little bit ahead on the process here since we just talked about all the things that we're offering in the spring. I'm going to talk about how you sign up for those events. But for those of you who aren't members yet, you know, just know that the first step will be to sign up to become a member. But once you become a member, you have two options. One, you can sign into our member portal. Once you join as a member, you get a member account in the member portal. So you'll have a username and a password. You can go to olli.unt.edu/members and sign in. And then once you're in the member portal, you'll be able to navigate to various categories. The same way that our courses and events are laid out in the catalog is how they're laid out on the website. So if it's under history in the catalog, it's going to be listed under the history category of the member portal. And you click an add to cart button under each course or event that you want to attend. Like I said, most of what we're offering this semester is inclusive. There are those two take-home events that are listed under the special events category of the website that will carry a cost, and you can pay that online. So if you register for those online, it'll give you an opportunity to pay your fee for those take-home events as well once you check out. But you also have the option of just sending us an email. If you're not able to navigate the member portal or you just prefer not to, you can send us an email, let us know the titles of the courses that you want to attend, and we're happy to sign you up. One thing I always let members know, sometimes people let me know that they were struggling with the website and had to work with it a long time. And I really encourage everyone to, you know, not spend too much time struggling with the website, especially if there's something that might be wrong with the website. It's really better to just send us an email or call us and let us know. And that way, if there's something going wrong with the website, we can fix it, or we can help you out manually to troubleshoot what else might be going wrong there. So really encourage you to email or call us with when you want to sign up for something. If you want to pay for some of the take-home events that carry a cost, it might be best to email us first to make sure that we can schedule a good time for the person who's able to take your payment to call you back and take that credit card payment over the phone. Now, once you enroll, again, either online through the member portal or by sending us an email, the way that you confirm that your enrollment has gone through is that you receive an email confirmation that will list everything you've just signed up for, the dates, the times. And while we're virtual, it also will include the Zoom links for each thing that you sign up for. So primarily there are unique Zoom links for each of the things that we're offering this spring. And so in that email, you should see the link. If you save that email and save it in a folder that you can always go back to when it's time to attend a class, you can find that class on your list, click the link, and Zoom basically opens right up when you do that. We also, again, we try to make things as easy as possible and have multiple ways to do things. And one thing that we found worked well in the fall is that all of the members who have paid their dues and are active in the spring should be receiving weekly email reminders once the semester starts. In that weekly email, it says, here's everything that's coming up next week. It lists them out there. And then under the list of each course or event that's coming up in the coming week, it also includes a link that you can click to join the Zoom session. So those are those two ways. You can save your email confirmation from when you register and refer back to that to click the link to join a class, or you can watch your inbox each Friday. You should get an email from us once the semester starts that tells you everything that's happening in the next week and provides the links for you to be able to join those events. All right, so I think I've talked a lot now. Oh, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about travel because we do have some updates to the travel opportunities that we're offering. Some of you may know that we were initially planning to offer the Treasures and Thieves art crime themed trip, which is being led by Dr. Laura Evans, who's also teaching the art crime class that I mentioned earlier. We were planning to do that in the spring of 2021. That has been moved to May 6th through 17th of 2022. So that trip is still happening. It's just been pushed back to 2022. We're still on schedule to hopefully go on our Shades of Ireland trip in September of next year. And then the Spotlight on New York City Holiday is still scheduled to happen in November. That I believe was initially scheduled to happen this year, and it's now scheduled for 2021. We also have a new event that's a new trip that's going to be led by Dr. Fred Bushy, who's been a longtime faculty member for OLLI, and he's served in a lot of other capacities for us as well. He is going to be leading a trip to the Galapagos Islands to discuss the environment and culture of Ecuador. So that is another trip that you can look forward to in September of 2022. And more information on all of these trips is available on our website at olli.unt.edu/travel, including some information. Several of these trips are being offered in partnership with Colette Travel Agency. And so we have some information there about their health and safety precautions that they've implemented, and then also their travel insurance policies, which deal with being able to get refunds if you need to cancel the trip for any reason. So all of that information is available on our website. All right, and finally, becoming a member. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a single semester membership that's offered for $50 per person for the spring semester. And that includes all the things, all the courses and all the events and special interest groups that I just mentioned. And as I said, the 2 take-home events carry an extra fee, but all of the other courses and events are included in this $50 membership fee. We have also decided to offer discounted membership rates. All of those things are also included in the discounted rate of $25 for veterans of the U.S. Armed Services and their spouses, and also for dues-paying members of the UNT Retiree Association, as well as dues-paying members of the UNT Alumni Association, and then also dues-paying members of the Flower Mound Senior Center and the Frisco Senior Center. As I mentioned, normally we have classes at those senior centers in person, and we're not able to do that in the spring, but we are extending that discounted rate of $25 per person to dues-paying members of those senior centers. But in addition to that, there's another way to get $25 membership, and that's to buy one membership at full price for $50 and then get a second membership at half off. So this is going to be ideal for couples and for people who are trying to recruit your friends and neighbors or family to join us. So the way that this will work, if you buy your membership online, in your confirmation email, you'll receive a promo code that you can share with your spouse or partner or loved one. And they can use that promo code to then go on the website and purchase a $25 membership. If you prefer to register by mail, we have a membership form that you can download from our website, which you see here on the screen, olli.unt.edu/virtual. You can download a registration form, print it out, fill it out by hand and mail it in with a check. On that form, there is an additional page for adding a second membership for half off. So by mail or online, those are the ways to get the 50% off membership. And you can also purchase a membership at full price for a loved one if you want to purchase it as a gift. You can see on the screen, olli.unt.edu/gift. That's a way to purchase the membership yourself. And then it gives you a promo code that you can share with the person that you're gifting the membership to so that they can take that code and sign up for their own individual account without having to pay because you've already paid. All right, so I think I've covered just about everything. And although our courses and events don't come with tests or grades or homework, we are going to do a little quiz on some of the information that I just shared with you for gift baskets. So we're going to encourage you to use the chat feature, which you can see here on the bottom of your screen, what the chat button looks like if you're not familiar. And the first person to type their answer, their correct answer into the chat is going to be the winner of our gift basket. We've got 3 to give away. And how this is going to work is once we identify the person who's given the correct answer first in the chat, Lily is going to help me out by privately messaging them and making sure we have your mailing address, and then we'll mail the gift basket to you. So these are not going to be extremely complicated or tricky questions, but hopefully everybody is ready and has their fingers on the keyboard. And we'll start with the first question. Once again, the first answer that comes into the chat that's correct will be the winner. So question number 1. What is the theme of Chef Jody Durier's cooking demos? I talked about the cooking demos she's going to be doing and what types of recipes she's going to be. Oh, so it looks like I see a few correct answers. And the first one I see is Deborah Deal. Is that what you see too, Lily?
Yes, it is.
All right. And Deborah, I think we have your address, but Lily, you can go ahead and confirm. Deborah is a longtime member, so confirm that we have that correct there. And she is, of course, correct that it is Taste of the Mediterranean. And somehow I've got something. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Next chance. Question number 2. Everybody ready? What design will we be creating with Painting with a Twist? So, you got some fast typers. People really want these gift baskets. All right, so I see Susie. Is that what you see, Lily?
I see Susie James, yes.
All right, Susie, I think you might already be a member, but Lily will reach out to you and confirm that. And she is correct. Simple Blue Bonnet is going to be the design. All right, so y'all were pretty quick with that one. This one I think is going to be a little bit trickier, but we'll see. Maybe you'll prove me wrong. So if you're ready, here comes the third and final question. Who is the director being featured in our Filmmaker Spotlight? I believe I mentioned his name several times, so we'll see whose memory helps them out the quickest. Okay, I think I see Patricia.
Yep.
So I was right that this one was trickier. We didn't have a ton of correct answers come in. So Patricia, Lily will confirm that we have your correct address. And I will go to the next slide and confirm that it is Peter Sanders, who is, we're going to be showing 2 of his films. Okay, so now is the time where you get to grill me and ask me questions. I'm going to scroll up to the top because I saw some come in. One question from Penny is, can you just watch Painting with a Twist, or do you have to register pay to be able to access? You will need to pay. the cost of the event covers one set of painting materials. Yes, we request that you pay and then pick up the materials and paint it yourself. If a spouse wanted to join, the cost would also go to them for the cost of their materials. Susie, Susie, who just won a prize, also mentioned that she still has a credit from the canceled Holocaust Museum tour, and she wants to know how she can use that. So that is a good point. Way back in the spring, which feels like a million years ago, we had some events that we had planned in person that involved a fee. And one of the options that you had when those events were canceled, if you remember with us at that time, was to use that fee for a future event. So Susie, in your case, definitely reach out to us, send us an email to let us know that you'd like to do that. And then we can go ahead and research that on the back end. Off the top of my head, I don't remember how much that trip was, but if we need to knock that amount off of your membership fee, we can figure that out. So definitely send us an email if you still hold any of those credits from the Holocaust Museum tour. I know was one. I think there might have been one other event that got canceled in the spring, but reach out to us and we can take care of that. On that note, I will also mention that when our spring semester was canceled, at that time, we were offering annual memberships, and we extended all of those annual memberships by one extra semester. So if you joined us in spring 2020, that semester was the one that was cut short. We added an additional semester to that annual membership. So if you joined us in spring 2020, your membership should still be active through this coming spring 2021. Again, definitely reach out to us to confirm that. Some of you, for many of you who are previous members, it probably is time to renew, but we can always confirm that for you and confirm when your membership expires. But once again, if you joined in the spring 2020 semester, at that time, we were still offering annual semesters, which would have given you through this fall. But because the spring was cut short, we extended you through this coming spring. And again, reach out to us with any questions you might have about whether your membership is still active or not. So I don't see any additional questions in the chat. It looks like Glenn had a question. I think this might have related to the great courses. It got cut off at the end, but all of the great courses that we have added since we went virtual, they're all available to active members. So if you haven't watched some of the great courses that we added in the previous semester, they will still be available in the spring. That might have been Glenn's question. I know that was a lot of information, so I want to give some more time in case there are some additional questions about all the different kinds of events that we are offering. Again, everything will be on Zoom. Well, don't tell me I did that good of a job on this. Well, if you do have any questions, after the session ends and something comes to you, please feel free to send us an email. You can go ahead and give us a call as well. Right now, we are currently quarantining, and as you can imagine, being able to be in the office is something that can change from week to week. So emails are the best way to always contact us, because no matter what, we're checking the email. But if you call and leave a voicemail, we can listen to voicemails remotely. So we might listen to your voicemail and respond with an email. Brandon, the catalog is live now. The catalog is available to download, olli.unt.edu/catalog. And also enrolling online is open now too. So if you were to go to the website now, you should be able to purchase a membership if you need to, or enroll in classes and events. See people, thank you all for joining us. And it looks like I don't see any other questions. Oh, some nice comments coming through in the chat, and we will definitely pass on your concerns to Stephanie. We're definitely thinking about her. All right, well, if there are no other questions, I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you in class. We'll go to the last slide here so you can see our contact information. We've got a comment here coming in about somebody not being able to see the current catalog. So I just want to come in here and make sure. Actually, let me try this. And is anybody else having any difficulty locating the catalog on the website? It shows up when I see it. In fact, let me see if I can do a new screen share. Well, let me just stop, share my screen again. So this is what you should see when you go to olli.unt.edu/catalog. Obviously, there's the information about this session today, but just right below that, you should see the spring 2021 catalog. So hopefully you're all able to see that. Oh, okay, great. All right, well, it looks like that's all for the questions. So again, I hope everybody has a great afternoon and stay safe. And please reach out to us with any questions you have. We'd be happy to answer them. Take care, everyone.